Howdy folks, it's time for some sports car talk. I'm doing a VR today for the Drew, a vintage legacy, and Drew is asking us to talk about at least three players who never won a World Series. And all three of these players that I'm going to talk about, they're all basically superstars, and none of them have won a World Series. And first one I'm talking about here is Dick Allen. Dick Allen was a fabulous player. Never quite made it to the Hall of Fame. He might still make it to the Hall of Fame. Dick Allen was the American League MVP in 1972, and just an awesome player. He never won a World Series. He was in the National League playoffs once in 1976 with the Phillies. The Phillies lost to the Reds in the National League playoffs in 1976. So Dick Allen never made it to the World Series at all. So that's why he never won one. But a fantastic player, and hopefully he'll make it to the Hall of Fame one day. Another player is Rusty Staub. Rusty Staub, fabulous player. He had the misfortune of playing with some really, really poor teams. Rusty Staub got over 2,700 hits in his career. Never made the Hall of Fame. He was in one World Series. He was in the 1973 World Series with the Mets, but the Mets lost, and he never won a title. Rusty Staub did bat .423 in that World Series, though. So he had an awesome series, but he couldn't help the Mets get over the hump. So Rusty Staub, excellent player, almost Hall of Fame worthy, 2,700 hits. Really, really good player. I almost think Rusty would have made the Hall of Fame if he played for the Yankees or the Dodgers or somebody like that. But he didn't quite do it. And number 3 on the list here is Mike Marshall. Mike Marshall won the Cy Young Award in 1974. I believe he was the first relief pitcher to ever win the Cy Young Award. He also never won a World Series, and I know you're going to see him here in this 1968 Detroit Tigers card, and the Detroit Tigers did win the World Series in 1968, but Mike Marshall never played for them. He played for Detroit in 1967, and in 1968 he spent the entire year in the minor leagues and never got to partake of the Tigers' World Series championship in 1968, and in 1969 they dumped him to the Seattle Pilots in the expansion draft. Like I said, in 1974 he won the Cy Young Award with the Dodgers. He did make it to the World Series, but the Dodgers did not win the World Series. So Mike Marshall, very, very good pitcher, never got to win a World Series. And one of the interesting things about Mike Marshall is that his ERA, his life career ERA, is 3.14, and 3.14 is pi. And since we're also in the time of celebrating Pi Day, March 14th, just wanted to point out that Mike Marshall's ERA is the closest ERA of any pitcher ever to the number of pi. The number pi is the ratio of the circumference of a circle to the diameter of a circle. And it's just an interesting fact that Mike Marshall just never won a World Series, but he did get his ERA is the equivalent of pi. So congratulations to Mike Marshall for that. One more interesting fact about March 14th. March 14th also happens to be the birthday of Albert Einstein, and Albert Einstein also never won a World Series. So here's 4 people who never won a World Series: Albert Einstein, Dick Allen, Rusty Staub, and Mike Marshall. I'd like to thank the Drew of Vintage Legacy for allowing us a chance to make this VR. Drew's got an awesome channel. You should check it out, and check out his channel. Go ahead, like him, subscribe to him. Also, if you like this sports car talk, you can like and subscribe to my channel. I hope you all have an awesome day, and thank you very much. Goodbye.